So where to find agents? Where are we? Google is a good place to start off because it's a good place to try and get a bit of an idea. Like obviously, if you normally kind of type in entertainment agents, you're probably going to end up with some of the really high-end ones that come up first because their SEO will be on it. So they'll be coming up really high, which may not necessarily be like a good place, but it's good to give you things to aspire to. Like we have certain agents that we kind of go, oh my God, we'd love to be on their books. It's like I was saying earlier, we have their names on our whiteboard and we're always like, how can we get there? So it's kind of like sending them stuff or like kind of chatting to you earlier, like just send things. They probably won't reply to you for a long time. We've had some agents it's taken us like 3-4 years to get like it in, and now we're finally in there. We're like slowly getting more and more stuff, but it can take that long. You might be lucky and you just do one job and suddenly click, it's great, but sometimes it's a real slog to try and get to people. Facebook and social media can also be a very good place to find agents. So if you particularly like the look of like events that people are posting up about, or people are doing particular job posts and things on some of the groups, they are worth joining if you're not a part of them already. Some of the kind of Facebook job posts, there's loads of them. I'm not sure actually if we've like compiled a list, which you probably should have a look at to go on the Make Performing Your Business page of like some of the ones that might be helpful for you guys to be a part of. But you'll find like a lot of agents do post things on there. So it's worth kind of noting again them down and sending some direct emails rather than just going through Facebook. It's less likely to get lost. Things like DMs and just sending Facebook messages can just kind of get a bit swept under the rug. So if you find someone you particularly like the look of through Facebook, do try and get hold of their contact details, send an email as well. And talk to other performers. It's a really good place to find them because you all share stories about agents that you really like working with and ones that you've not particularly liked working with. So it's worth having a chat with kind of like all of your friends and stuff and kind of getting an idea of all of that. But do be careful about stepping on people's toes or breaching contracts, which is something that some people don't even realize they're doing sometimes. So if you've got kind of in your contract that you've worked with this particular agent through like that friend and then you go direct, they might get a bit pissed off with you. So there's certain things where it's again a bit down to your moral compass sometimes as to how you want to play things. But just be careful about asking friends about stuff if you think that they might not like you to. But chat amongst yourselves and kind of share things about agents. So working relationships, again, just being polite and things in your emails. I have a very bizarre mix of relationships with a lot of our agents, depending on how long we've been with them. So yeah, start off professional, but can become more chummy as you get to know people. I have some agents that write me poems, which is lovely. And that's one of my favorite things. They'll be like nothing work related. I'll literally just get an email with like, what is it? My name Tor fits into lots of things. So I'll get emails where they've just made my name into like every word in an email somehow and stuff. And like, that's when you kind of go, great, we're like in with this person. Or they'll just call you up just to tell you about something stupid that happened. And you're there going, is there a job inquiry at the end of this? And they're like, no, I'm just bored and like talking to you. So it's like, sweet, that's fine. I'll be your outlet for your weird thing you got up to while I was drunk this weekend. But we would never start off like that. Like a lot of them are 4 years down the line of knowing this person, and now they just send me stupid memes, and that's kind of it. But yeah, do start off being like polite, and then like work smileys and jokes in as you go along is always a good bit of advice. But yeah, always remember there is still business involved. It's not really a proper like friendship. At the end of the day, you do need to adhere to industry etiquette and bear contracts and values in mind. It's a thing where you forget sometimes that there is the underlying business aspect. It's very easy to do because there's lots of like crossed wires. So do try and bear in mind, like, you do still have to work together at the end of the day and try and separate things sometimes. Like if you're working with someone a lot, it can be kind of easy for like personal stuff and business to intertwine. It can kind of cause problems and things. So do try and remember that there is still business stuff at the end of the day. Like, don't sleep with them. Try not to do that too. However, it is a two-way street, so I really want you guys to also take away from this that you should really respect yourself when it comes to all of this, and don't take crap from agents either. Like, there's so many horror stories, and we've all been through awful scenarios with agents to get to points where you go, I don't really want to work with you anymore. And you can do that. It is a valid response. You don't have to stick with agents if they're treating you like dicks. So we can't always guarantee work for you all the time, but we are trying. But if agents don't pay you on time, take liberties and don't value you, or if you feel as though you're not being prioritized by them, just get out of it. And we've stuck around for so many, like there's like a few agents where they'll kind of get in touch and go, oh, it's a really low fee, but can you just do it this one time? It really help us out. They're going, oh, well, it's not what I want, but I do want to get in with them, so I'll do it. And we did that 4 or 5 times with a few agents that then never go anywhere, and they still never prioritize you, even though you've really helped them out of a few scrapes and things. And you kind of get to the point where you're like, this is definitely not a two-way street here. This is just you taking all of this and we're not getting anything. So just value yourself. You are worth it. Don't let them treat you like shit. So a few quick do's and don'ts. Do think long-term. So if you want to try and get in with some agents, it is not an over-the-night thing. You do need to kind of plan and think, this might take a while to get there. So don't worry if it does. Do plan long-term. Do go out of your way to impress. Do join lots of agencies. Don't feel as though you can only be with like 1 or 2. Like send your axe to everybody, especially if you've got like a unique one that you want to try and get out there. Literally send it to everybody. But yeah, so don't feel as though you can only be with like 1 or 2. You can be with lots and lots of people. Obviously, if you find you're getting lots more through certain people, then do try and prioritize them, but you can definitely look around. And do make sure the relationship feels equal. Don't breach your contracts. This is a really important thing, and agents really don't like this when it happens. Contracts are very important to us because they just keep everything flowing and fair and even, and it should be so it's equal, again, for like you and the client. So just make sure you read things that come through. They're all pretty much the same. I touch on it a little bit, but just don't do that. Don't take agents for granted either, because we really try hard to get work in and to look after kind of our performers. I know especially, for me, the performance is the most important thing, because if you aren't happy, you're not going to do a good job, and then the client's not going to come back. So you're kind of like the most important thing when it comes to an agency. So just if you feel as though you're being taken for granted, just don't. And again, this one, hands up everybody. What do we say? Thank you very much.